been playing Dynasty Warriors Origins over on the PlayStation 5. And this was actually another game I got a review code from Koei Tecmo. And I was really surprised when this came in because I saw that they posted on X that they were just putting it out there that content creators can put their hand up for a code. And I've every now and again I'm like, oh look, that's a game I'm looking at buying. I'd like to pick that up. So I may as well put my hand up and see if I can cover it on the show. And I was real surprised when I actually it came in. So thank you very much to Koei Tecmo Europe for the review code. But
nice.
The Dynasty Warrior series is something that I'd never played before, and I really fell in love with the genre with the Nintendo games that Koei Tecmo made with Nintendo. So the first one that I really loved was Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which was like the alternative story to Three Houses. And I fell in love with that game, largely because it was Fire Emblem, but with Musou action gameplay. I was like, that's kind of perfect because I love everything about Fire Emblem, like the characters, the setting, the anime cutscenes, the relationships, the stat building. Like it's all awesome, but I'm not really a strategy fan. It's just it doesn't really click with me as much as I might even like it on paper. Hasn't really caught me yet. I've tried a few Fire Emblem games and it hadn't really caught me. So I loved playing that game in 2022, and the Zelda games too. Age of Calamity, really love that one. Playing it before Tears of the Kingdom. So I wanted to try Dynasty Warriors, like the actual series itself, and Origins is brand new game that's set out on every platform except for Nintendo. But also feel like this is a good candidate to come to Switch 2 as well, just because Koei Tecmo, good relationship with Nintendo, and hopefully we'll see it on Switch 2. So might have a bit of a head start when it comes to some Switch 2 coverage here. Who knows? But
nice.
It's great. It's got really awesome high production, which I wasn't expecting. Just really pretty cutscenes and like the actual gameplay itself. Because I'm not playing on Switch, I'm playing on PlayStation 5. Like the amount of on-screen enemies there are, it's just insane. Like you literally are going against like whole armies. Whereas on Switch, when you're playing like the Musou games, there's so many, there's heaps of enemies, but when you're playing like Origins, there's just a whole battlefield worth of enemies and generals, and they're all spread out. It's really interesting just how the extra power can sort of make the full scale war just feel that much bigger. Because like this game is based off of the, I was going to say Three Houses, the Three Kingdoms, based off that story. So a lot of, I think most of the games are based off of that story. And in this game, you play as like a wanderer, and the game starts off, you're in this village and there's a lot of poverty going on. People can't eat, they're starving. And there's this ruler who's basically not looking after them at all. There's a lot of corruption going on, and you're a wanderer who basically stands up for them, and the story goes on from there. And it's interesting enough. It's not like captivating me. It's like, I've got to find out what's going on next. But it's an interesting just setting just to facilitate the gameplay. Like, this army is, doing this. You've got to stop them. You've got to take down this general. You've got to make sure that, your units are able to move forward because they've got this specific thing that they're doing. Like, it just sort of revolves, just keeps you going that way. And I'm enjoying just playing it at night, just going through, maybe listening to a podcast while the battle's going on and pausing that podcast when the cutscenes come on. And I'm just really enjoying it. There's a lot of like skill trees and stats and different weapons that you level up when you use them and that too. It's just very satisfying as far as all of that goes. Really sort of taps into that RPG itch. So I'm really enjoying it. I think I had a bit of a look online. I think there's 6 chapters. I'm in the second chapter. I'm about 5 or 7 hours in. Don't really know. Just a guess. But I'm really enjoying it. So I want to see through the game and actually complete it because it's just a nice game to somewhat turn your brain off because there's a lot of combos and stuff you do, but it's very hack and slash. But at the same time, when like an army has you surrounded and you're in the shit, there is a lot to think about. You've got to like take down certain generals because they're about to wipe out your team. So you've got to like go from one end of the battle screen or the battlefield to go to the other side to be able to like protect different units and all of that. Like, yeah. So it's not as easy as like the Musou genre sort of gets a bit of slack for, because I was a part of that, to be honest with you. When I remember Bryce, he used to love the Dynasty Warriors games even before Hyrule Warriors came out on Wii U. And I remember being like, oh, why do you like this? It's just like square, 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 triangle, all of that type of thing. But it's really not. It's really not. It's it's good. It's good just to have an action game where there's a lot of depth to it, but it's nice and relaxing in some aspects too.
Yeah, like, has there been much fanfare to this game? I haven't heard too much really about it. I know it's not Nintendo, but
yeah. Not really. I first noticed the game in a state of play. I think it might have even got announced at a PlayStation state of play.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I'd like, the graphics looked nice, especially to like, the Warriors games I was playing on Switch. I'm like, oh, it looks just like a big grand version of that. So I'm like, yeah, I'll give that a go. And I probably wouldn't have played it this month just because I spent like I used a lot of my gaming budget, around Christmas time as far as that went. So I would have probably waited for a sale for this one, as well as because I have like plenty to play at the moment. But yeah, it was definitely something I was looking forward to playing, and I'm enjoying it. So, don't know. Have you played much of like the Hyrule Warriors or anything like that, or just not really your thing?
No, not really. It's never really sort of drawn me in. I've seen Michaela play a couple because she got Age of Calamity as well, and so I've just haven't had the interest really. So, but we mentioned before, if they did a Xenoblade one, I think I'd be keen to try it out for that reason. I'm sure I would enjoy it enough if I got to play it. But yeah, Age of Calamity didn't draw me in for the lack of canon story to begin with, and Three Hopes. I just wasn't looking for something like that at the time. So any sort of other Nintendo crossover I might be more interested in doing eventually one day maybe.
I've been thinking about what the next Warriors Nintendo crossover will be, because it's been a few years since the last one with Fire Emblem. So I'm like, what
22.
will the next one be? People are saying Xenoblade. I'm like, that's a great contender. That would be amazing. Even me, who hasn't played Xenoblade like all the way through, I haven't beaten one of the games. That would be an amazing one.
Yep.
From like a lore perspective and everything as well would be really cool. But what do you reckon could draw you in? You love Pikmin? Could you a Pikmin one? A Pikmin Warriors game? A Metroid Warriors game?
I mean,
you probably don't want Koei Tecmo anywhere near Metroid again, though, mind you.
No thanks. Yeah, correct. I think Xenoblade's a big one. Like for me, it's just thinking about that type of sword and combat kind of perspective. I think they're the ones that would work the best. Is Zelda and Fire Emblem the big ones already they've done? Is Xenoblade's a good contender after that? But beyond that, I wouldn't want to see really Metroid go down that route. I'd rather
that makes no sense.
focus on the games they need to sell instead.
I always thought a Pokemon one would be really cool.
Okay.
Based on like the great Pokemon War that's showcased in Pokemon X and Y.
Yep. So you got your Pokemon trying to destroy other Pokemon, make them faint and all that.
Yeah, I guess so. Because not in Origins, not in the latest game, but in the Zelda game and the Fire Emblem games, you can play as like a lot of different characters. So you can imagine like how many Pokemon are playable characters and all that. That could be a lot of fun. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. What would be a weird like Bayonetta would be cool, but that's the same sort of style, isn't it? So that's whether it would be different enough.
It's apart from like the massive amount of enemies, it's maybe a little bit too similar.
Yeah. Kid Icarus, man.
Yeah, well, Kid Icarus would be dope. That's all about massive scale and wars, and got the gods and their armies and everything. Yeah, that'd be sick.
That'd be unreal. That's my answer now. After Xenoblade, that's Kid Icarus. That'd be a great way to sort of give some life into that series.
Can you imagine? Like, I'll be stoked. I'll be like, you're making a Warriors Kid Icarus game. That is amazing. But out of all the franchises you could have chosen, you went with that one.
Yeah,
a lot of people will be pissed, but I'll be
It's
so
super
happy.
niche. Super niche.
Yeah, so why not? Just the year of Kid Icarus. Do the remake
Yeah.
on Switch. Give us a Warriors game. Oh,
Could we do like a sin and punishment style instead of rail shooter, but obviously like this sort of style instead? It's a similar kind of weapon they could use in a way to make it work.
yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, you got that many weapons to choose from in Kid Icarus Uprising. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So
But
yeah,
gameplay elements of like Star Fox Assault. I don't know. This is me listing everything, but Kid Icarus. Let's go with that.
we're getting into a little creative little pocket here. I never even put those two together. That sounds amazing. That sounds phenomenal. That sounds great. I really want
Demand
that
it now. Yeah,
Alright, so
let's petition.
That's another thing I'm expecting at this Nintendo Direct. Like, all right, we've got two Kid Icarus games. Here's the 3DS game, and here's Warriors, and make it a third one. Just do a sequel to it as well. Just get those three. That'd be good. Thanks,
That's
Sakurai.
right. Correct.
You've been busy, I hope, mate. And I hope
Give us the Game Boy one as well while you're at it.
yeah, why not?
Yep.
So yeah, Sakurai, I want them all made by you, and I want Smash Brothers, the next one in the same year. Thanks, mate.
You're pretty good. You're pretty good.
You're a busy man, so I hope you've been busy.
Yes.
Mucking about on that YouTube channel of yours, sir.